Hello and welcome to Darth Snoogan's Tool Reviews. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got a new MOTU figure here. At least it's new for me. I've had this one on pre-order for a long time from Big Bad Toy Store, but we finally have our Origins version of Rattlor here. Speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, in all the years that I've been buying from them, I've never had a figure with a package come beat up like this. Check that out. That is not the typical. Luckily, I'm a person who opens the packages, so it's not, it's not a deal breaker for me. I would have liked to preserve the back art, but that was not in the cards. It's weird too because the package was not damaged. It's just the way it was packed. The bubble wrap wasn't secured around it, so this is what I got. I could have just ordered this from Amazon if I wanted it tore up like this, but anyway, so we got Rattlor, evil creature with a quick strike head. Makes fearsome battle rattle before attacking. Very much like our vintage figure. Part of the Snake Men sub-series. And let's see on the back of the package. And let's see if we can get in here to even see this. And I'll put up a better picture to overlay. Rattlor serves as one of King Hiss's most loyal henchmen and general in the Snake Men army. And we got a little Rise of the Snake Men thing here. And our cross-sell art shows Rattlor, Cobra Khan, Snake Armor, He-Man, Boatman. And unlike our vintage, you can see here it says replace with long strike head. So you've got an attachment to make the neck. It doesn't just pop out like the vintage figure does. And then shake for fearsome battle rattle. Yeah. That's great. Let's go ahead and get this out of the package. And we definitely don't have to worry about that card art anymore because this thing is trashed. If I hadn't been waiting so long for this figure, I might have actually sent it back just out of principle. All right, so get that out of the way. Very cool. It's very reminiscent of the original figure. Color-wise and everything looks about the same. The stance with the short, stubby legs and the elongated torso. Very cool. I'm going to change my light. Bear with me a second. All right, so he's got a few bands holding him in place. Let's see if I can get those cut out or see if I can just pull him out here, which I think I'm going to try that. Yeah. Sometimes those little disconnects at the torso really help. And this foot's going to fight me, so let me find a knife. All right, so here's our Rattlor standing on his own. Let's see, he comes with a comic, Rise of the Snake Men, which we've seen this one before. Got Boatman, Cobra Khan, Rattlor on the cover. So, for those who haven't seen it, we'll just flip it open here real quick. We've got Snake Armor, He-Man, Boatman. There's the Goddess. Got a cool little fight scene here. Yeah, actually pretty decent artwork. Put that to the side. We've got our little diagram card that shows us the parts that are removable. No surprises here. Pop the head off, which we're going to have to extend that neck. Arms. Pop the feet off, and you can pop him off at the waist. But on the back, we also see where we can attach that long tail. So let's get into it here. So we'll start with the tail. This is a pliable rubber. Feels just like the vintage, actually, to me. We'll get the vintage out here in a minute and compare, but yeah, just a rubbery tail. He's got the little notch in his back. Pop that into place. There we go. Looks like that's a one and done. I don't think you're going to be taking that one on and off very much. He does come with his snake staff, just like the vintage figure. The big difference here is this attachment piece, which just like Mecha Neck, instead of the neck extending on its own, you have to add in this piece. So with the vintage line, there was a variant that was a red neck. So that would be cool if with the Origins line somewhere, if there is a a variant that has a red neck. Maybe it's a hidden variant. So let's pop the head off, put the weird neck attachment on, which I'm not really a huge fan of these. There we go. Not the easiest to snap into place. And there we have our Rattlor with his extended neck. Now, his legs feel a little weird to me. I'm trying to get him stable. There we go. So you can see what he looks like. Very much like the vintage. Go ahead and put his staff in his hand. I will say the color and everything on this is great. I think they did a great job of matching this up to the vintage figure. I hate that it took so long to get this. You know, we're finally starting to get, at least for me, finally starting to get some of these figures that should have been released a long time ago, at least in wide release. I know there's been plenty of people who's had these, but they weren't the easiest to pick up in stores or online. I dig this, though. I think execution-wise, the neck for this one makes more sense and looks better than the mecha neck. Now, I will say the tail, I would have preferred this tail be like articulated, because it really makes it kind of weird to stand, because it wants to push him forward. And it's just like that vintage figure. And I'm going to move my camera up just a tad. All right, so hopefully that's better. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in the vintage figure, because it's really hard to appreciate how good this one is until you see the vintage version. Now, I'll admit my vintage version is a little wore out. The rubbery head, the paint that's come off, the eyes and the teeth. I will say the new head is the hard plastic, so that's good. I think that's definitely an improvement. But you can see design-wise and color-wise, they kept it pretty true to that original, to a fault, really. Like I said, this tail is obnoxious. It doesn't want to stand very great, but let's go ahead and get a side view. All right, so the way the original worked, he has a little button on his lower back, and it makes his head pop out just like that. And he also has that obnoxious rattle. So as you can see, this is a very good recreation of the figure. This is definitely an improvement over the vintage. Of course, it's losing the gimmick, which I prefer the gimmick, but in execution, adding that articulation and getting the nice sculpted head that's in the harder plastic, I think I prefer that. Now let's get a look at the back. And as you can see, the tails, man, this looks like they just about used the same mode. If it wasn't for these scales are a little bit wider than the original. Other than that, it looks about the same. A lot of the molding on the figure looks the same. The scales on the neck are larger and more defined than on that vintage. And you can also see the tops of the heads are pretty much the same. Scales on the chest, the belt, the design on the legs. While it doesn't look exactly the same, it's pretty close. Of course, you got all that articulation in there that's kind of throwing your lines off. So if you want to look exactly, you got to make sure you got your legs and feet lined up. Yeah, I dig it. I think this is a win. I think this is definitely a figure I'm glad to have. I would have liked to have had it a long time ago. And but hey, you know what? Good things come to those who wait. And I'm glad I waited for this one and got it for the standard retail price and didn't pay some crazy fees, because this is not a figure I would pay $50 for. Honestly, there's not really a figure in the Origins line that I would pay that much for. That's just me. I see Wondar and some of the like Fangor and that Frogman figure. Those are crazy prices on those. Duplico, I am not paying that much. I refuse. I just won't have those figures. And I can live with that. This is a great deal. Good figure. A good recreation of the original. like I said, I think, you know, other than if they had just added this gimmick into the figure, that would have been the only way they could have made this any better. But I know they're not going to do that because we have the removable arms, and it just doesn't allow for all those gimmicky action figures features anymore. So this is a good figure. They did a good job. One other thing I'm noticing, your paint doesn't go all the way down to your hands on the new one versus the original. That's not a big deal, but it is noticeable. Hey, sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Have you picked up Rattlor? Have you been waiting for him on pre-order like me? Did you just get yours from Big Bad Toy Store? I imagine a lot of people have done that. And did your package come destroyed like mine did? Because that was kind of shocking. I've never had that happen with Big Bad Toy Store. They're usually, everything's pristine when it gets to me. So, hey, I appreciate you guys watching, checking out another video. I've got more stuff coming. Hopefully we'll have some more new reviews coming soon. If not, please check out some of the older reviews. I have selected a handful that maybe kind of got overlooked in the beginning, re-releasing some of those. You'll see those labeled as Review Rewind or Rewind Review, something like that. Check those out too if you haven't already. Give them a like. And hey, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that greatly. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.